Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a struggle that is just so universal, something that pretty much all of us deal with, but is so deeply misunderstood. We're talking about procrastination.
You know the feeling, right? You've got that huge, important thing you're supposed to be doing, but suddenly, cleaning the grout in your bathroom with a toothbrush seems like the most urgent task in the entire world. It's that sudden need to do anything but the one thing you have to do.
Well, what if I told you that this isn't about being lazy? It's not some kind of character flaw. We're going to reframe this whole thing today, because procrastination isn't a personal failure. It's actually a biological battle, a real fight between two really powerful forces inside your head. So if we're going to figure out how to win this battle, we first have to really clearly define our opponent. What is procrastination, really, when you look at it from a scientific point of view?
Okay, this definition is so important. It's not just putting something off. The key words here are voluntarily and despite expecting to be worse off. This means you know it's a bad idea. You know it's going to come back to bite you, but you do it anyway. That right there, that irrationality is what we're talking about.
And listen, if you think you're the only one doing this, you're not. Not even close. One study found that a whopping 70% of university students call themselves procrastinators. It's a massive shared human experience. So no, you are definitely not alone in this fight.
All right, so what is actually going on in our brains when we choose to watch just one more episode instead of starting that huge project? Let's meet the two sides fighting for control.
So on one side, you've got your present self. This part of you lives completely in the now. It wants to feel good, it wants to avoid anything that feels bad, and it wants that relief immediately. And on the other side, you've got your future self. This is the planner, the part of you that gets long-term goals and consequences.
Your future self, well, it lives right up front, in your prefrontal cortex. You can think of this area as the CEO of your brain. It's the most evolved part, and its whole job is to manage your impulses, make plans, and keep you focused. It's basically the voice of reason in your head.
But your present self? That's run by a much older, more primitive part of your brain, the limbic system. This is your emotional core. All it cares about is seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. It's basically screaming, I want to feel good right now, and it could not care less about your 5-year plan. So procrastination is literally a turf war between your rational prefrontal cortex and your emotional, reactive limbic system.
Now that we know who's fighting, the big question is, why does that impulsive present self win so often?
This quote from Psychology Today just nails it. It all comes down to something called present bias. We are just hardwired to care more about how we feel right now than how we'll feel later. So when a task makes us feel anxious or bored or just, our limbic system freaks out and hits the eject button. And delaying it gives us that sweet, sweet hit of immediate relief. And look at these drivers. They are all about emotion, right? Procrastination is almost never about the task itself. It's about avoiding the bad feelings we connect to the task. Whether you're scared you'll fail, or the project feels so big you don't know where to start, or you're a perfectionist, your brain is really just trying to protect you from feeling bad in this very moment. But here's the catch. That short-term relief comes with a seriously hefty price tag. And the bill? It gets sent straight to your future self. And we're talking about way more than just a last-minute scramble to finish something. This chart is fascinating. Early on, procrastinators actually feel less stress. They're coasting on that relief. But as that deadline gets closer, look what happens. Their stress levels don't just catch up, they shoot way past everyone else's. So in the end, they actually end up with a much bigger pile of stress.
And that stress, it causes this huge ripple effect. Chronic procrastination is linked to everything from worse performance at work and school to actual health problems like a weaker immune system. Plus, there are those constant feelings of guilt and shame that just eat away at your self-esteem. It's a debt that just keeps getting bigger over time.
Okay, so that all sounds pretty bad, I know, but it is not hopeless. The good news is we can actually consciously choose to give our future self the tools it needs to win. So let's look at some real science-backed strategies to tip the scales. One really powerful tool is the OSIO principle. It stands for only handle it once. The idea is so simple. If a task pops up that will take you less than 5 minutes, just do it, right then and there. Don't even give yourself the chance to put it off. This builds momentum and stops all those little things from piling up into one big, scary monster of a to-do list. Now this one is kind of a clever mind trick. It's called structured procrastination. You basically trick your brain. You put some huge, terrifying task at the very top of your to-do list, you're probably going to avoid it, right? But you'll procrastinate by doing all the other easier but still productive things on your list, just so you don't have to face the big one. You're basically weaponizing your own procrastination. It's brilliant.
Really, the whole game is about making it easier for your future self to win. You do that by breaking down scary projects into tiny, non-scary steps. Or by changing your environment, like just turning off your phone notifications. But honestly, my favorite tactic is this last one. Develop empathy for your future self. Think of them as a real person, as a friend. Would you dump a giant, stressful mess on your best friend at the last possible second? Probably not. So why do it to the future you?
So in the end, beating procrastination isn't about some magic cure or becoming a totally different person overnight. It's really about recognizing that this battle is happening in your brain. It's a constant negotiation between how you feel right now and what you want for your future. So the real question is, the next time you have a choice to make, which self are you going to arm for victory?